Thanks to the legends at Carly for sponsoring today's video, a powerful all-in-one portable OBD tool. More information on Carly's features and an exclusive discount will follow on shortly. But until then, let's get on to today's video. And once again, a big thank you to Carly for supporting the channel.
Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. Yes, as you see by the title, I'm unveiling one of 3 cars that I've recently purchased. Of course, if you follow me on social media, if you don't, please do. That's where I'm pretty much keeping you all up to date during my day-to-day shenanigans. But nevertheless, I'm now finally here to unveil car number 1. Oh my God. And you've obviously seen it if you're not new to the channel, but if you are, I've gone and bought myself this. A 2018 BMW M140i, or M140i. And yes, I know it's an M Lite, but beneath this is a fire-breathing B58 engine, and that's probably the main reason I bought this. Not only that, I used to own a 335D Touring, an F31 to be precise. And I loved that car and I regret selling it ever since I handed over the keys to the dealer. And the one thing that the car missed was some character. And fortunately enough, this car has bundles of it. Now, this isn't any ordinary 140i, no, because this supposedly has a stage 2 remap on it. So it's straight through the lot. The exhaust is mental, it's obnoxious, and you'll hear it a little bit later when I go for a drive. Actually, speaking of a drive, We'll go and do that right now, actually, because this car warrants it. It needs to be driven. But before we do, let me take you for a quick walk around because it deserves it. Come on, let's go. Right, so the paintwork is Melbourne Red. Now, when I was looking for one of these, I did want it in white or black, to be fair. But when I came across this is pretty much the only one on the market at the time, I fell in love with it straight away when I went to view it. And being honest, this is probably the first car that I viewed when I was looking for 140i's, and yeah, I didn't bother looking anywhere else because this one was perfect. Now, of course, it is the Shadow Edition, so you get all the fancy black bits as opposed to the pre-facelift cars. Of course, this is a facelift car, you can tell by the lights most specifically, but honestly, I love this thing. We've got obviously the optional sunroof, and we've got ProNav, and we've got all the fancy things that you usually get in a BMW product. But other than that, you could argue that it's just the 1 Series, and I will be explaining on the drive that I want to change it because, yeah, I get a bit frustrated with how this came out of the factory because it's got the M Sport trim stuff, even though this is the M140i. You could put it next to a 116D, for example, and you wouldn't tell the difference unless you're a really geeky nerd. Not like me, because I'm not a geeky nerd. But yeah, I absolutely love this thing and I cannot wait to transform it. So please leave in the comments what you think I should do to the car. The one thing I will be doing is taking it to a wheel hub dyno to find out exactly how much power this makes. And I may even get the map retweaked as well because, yeah, it's got a pop and bang map, and as much as it is cool, the novelty's wearing off. But you'll hear that when we go for a drive. But anyway, let's hop in and go and be a hooligan responsibly, if that's ever such a thing. So actually, I'll tell a lie, before we go for a drive, you need to hear this exhaust. It's absolutely ridiculous. Now don't worry, it is warm, so bear with me. So you think, oh, it doesn't sound too bad on idle, but wait till you hear this. It's absolutely mental. What a sound. And yeah, I can see myself getting in trouble very soon with this. But yeah, let's go for that drive now before I get told off by the old Rozzers. So, we're in the driver's seat. See, I wasn't kidding. You've already heard how obnoxious it is outside. And believe me, it's just as obnoxious inside too. Oh. It is chavtastic, this thing. And I love it. Although, as I said earlier, the novelty is getting a little bit tiring now, I have to admit. because when you do put this car in sport mode, it does transform it. The steering gets a lot more solid and just translates more to when you're on B roads, just has a little bit more feedback behind the wheel as in comparison to its default setting in comfort. Before I get on to what I want to plan to do with this car, I just want to give you a brief overview, just my impressions of how I've found the car, because I have owned this for the last 3 months. Yes, I know I'm late to the party, but there's for good reason. Well, there isn't actually. I've just been so underwhelmed. I've been so busy with work, I can't even get my words out, that I just haven't had time to put content together with my own cars, let alone other cars. So yeah, I love this thing. It's just the performance. Forget about it being mapped. I've experienced standard 140s, and to be fair, they're pretty much on the sweet spot. Whereas this, yeah, you can just go absolutely ham with these cars. No wonder why they're called the modern 2JZ. And ironically, Toyota nicked the B58 and put it into their new Supras. It's quite funny, isn't it? But yeah, honestly, they just pull and pull and pull away. Literally, they just don't run out of steam. They're just mind-boggling. And yeah, I haven't experienced this without traction on yet. I'm a bit scared because, yeah, with potentially 460 horsepower at the rear wheels, yeah, it's not for the faint-hearted. Even then, just pulling out, the traction's going on and off, on and off. But yeah, it's a lovely car to drive, even if you just put it into comfort and just do some cruising, like just normal motorway stuff, even just going to work. I do daily this, by the way, and I am in the petrol station every week because this is a thirsty mofo. But nevertheless, it's an enjoyment to drive. One thing, however, is the handling. Now, I have a Mark 7 ST180. Yes, I know, it's probably the 1 millionth time I've said that. And when you get out of that into this and you try and drive it very spiritedly along a B road, yeah, it struggles. I wouldn't say it's boat-like, but yeah, when people say that these need lowering springs, coilovers, I now do believe them a lot more. That will be something in the pipeline. Again, because I've got the ST, it's not the most priority thing of mods that I want to do to this, for that reason. But anyway, let's now get on to the plans I have with this car. Like I potentially had with my ST180, and I have done none of it. It's going to be the same with this probably, but nevertheless, hear me out. So yeah, I do want to make this look a little bit more like a performance car, even though it's technically called an M Lite, which I don't quite understand because this has performance like an M3, M4, but I feel it's in a bit more of a practical, more of a sleeper looking car in comparison. So yeah, I do want to transform it, maybe do some something to the rear diffuser, maybe a front splitter and some side skirts, and wheels. I do want to get wheels because they're a bit buckled, these ones, and you can feel it, especially when you're on the motorway. So I do want to change them. It just gives me that excuse. So please do leave in the comments some suggestions on where I can get stuff from, and hopefully if you know the person that is actually at that specific place, maybe drop me their details as well, so I can get in touch with them. But yeah, so I do want to just change the aesthetics of the car, especially inside. The steering wheel's a bit tired. The car's only got 47,000 miles on it, which in general sense is pretty good. But yeah, I do want to change the steering wheel, maybe get some Alcantara with a 12 o'clock red symbol, dot thing, whatever you want to call it, dial there, just to make it a little bit more sporty. Maybe change the paddles as well. But yeah, there's not much to change in here really. I've got the nice Pro Nav, I really do like that, especially for me when I had my 355D, that only had business nav, and yeah, going from that to Pro Nav, I would never spec a BMW in business ever again. But yeah, I'm very happy with this car. To be fair, I was looking at something not to replace the Fiesta, because that's not going anywhere, that's staying with me for life, especially recently, the fact that the demise of the Fiesta is now upon us. The Fiesta is no more. So yeah, I was looking for something to sort of replace the 335D, but yeah, I regretted selling it, but I didn't really want to go for another diesel, so this was the better bet, and I'm very pleased with it. There's no regrets in that sense, apart from fuel. if you're going to buy one of these, be prepared for fuel, especially when you map them. But yeah, it's crazy to think that the performance in this, I haven't even scratched the surface, and I haven't even done anything with it. I do want to get it remapped. Potentially, I do want to take it as content goes. I want to get it dynoed as well on a wheel dyno hub. So if anyone can suggest someone that sort of maps BMWs and has a wheel hub dyno, oh, I can't even speak, a wheel hub dyno that I could use as well, that would be very interesting. And I'd like to facilitate, if you could facilitate that and help me get in touch with someone. But yeah, I love this thing. Melbourne Red is definitely the colour to have in this. It just pops in the sunlight, especially when it's clean. And it rarely is these days because, yeah, as you can see, the weather looks very grim. But anyway, that's a short video from me. Well, hopefully short-ish. And yeah, thank you very much for the support. Hello to all the new subscribers. And yeah, I want to do lots of content. I have things planned. That's not just the generic review stuff. I want to actually put together some fun, quirky videos like challenges and races and stuff. So yeah, just keep an eye out. If you haven't subbed, please do. Everyone that does sub, you don't know how much it means to me. And it helps me with getting cars from press offices, because at the moment we live in clown world and all they want to concentrate on is electric cars, and I don't want to get involved with electric cars. I want to keep with these sort of things that we all love, not electric cars that are trying to fake it till they make it, and they're never going to make it in my opinion. But anyway, let's just put it into manual. One last hurrah, because there is a national speed limit in front of me. This thing is just mental. Anyway guys, remember to like, subscribe, comment, do all that good stuff, and until the next video, I will see you all soon. Goodbye. Whee!